Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer. Today we're unpacking one of the absolutely most high-stakes, adrenaline-fueled duels happening on our planet right now. High above the dense canopies of forests, across the sun-baked expanses of deserts, and sweeping over the tall grass of the savannas, a constant, deadly hunt is unfolding. It's a real-time story of survival, completely shaped by millions of years of evolution, featuring two of the natural world's most formidable predators.
It's a question that sounds like something straight out of an action thriller, right? When the ultimate sky hunter meets the ground's deadliest predator, who survives? Well, in this explainer, we aren't just going to rattle off dry facts, we are going to track this hunt from start to finish. We're going to put you right in the middle of the action to witness exactly what happens when these two lethal paths cross, where survival is never a certainty, and the outcome relies entirely on split-second strategy rather than sheer strength.
Chapter 1. Meet the Deadly Hunters, Machines of Survival.
To really understand this clash, we have to look at these combatants not just as your basic, everyday animals, but as perfectly adapted survival machines. Every feather, every single scale, and every muscle has been rigorously tested and refined by natural selection. They're highly specialized predators equipped with completely contrasting weapons. On one side, we have the eagle, representing absolute aerial dominance. To give you an idea of just how dominant, if you had an eagle's eyes, you could literally see an ant crawling on the ground from the roof of a 10-story building. That is just insane. And on the other side, we have the snake, representing grounded stealth. It relies on perfect camouflage combined with either highly toxic venom or terrifying crushing strength. It is a true battle of the skies versus the earth, visibility versus invisibility.
You know, what's really wild to me is that we are specifically looking at species like the snake eagle and various hawk eagles, because while the term eagle covers a lot of powerful birds of prey worldwide, not all of them go out of their way to tangle with venomous or constricting reptiles. The idea of purposely hunting a deadly snake seems crazy, right? But these specific species, they are biologically built for this exact fight. Reptiles aren't just some random snack for them, they are a crucial staple part of their daily diet.
Moving into Chapter 2, Vision versus Venom, the Arsenal. Before the actual strike happens, we need to understand the exact tools each animal brings to the battlefield, because the way they hunt and the way they avoid being hunted could not possibly be more different. Picture the eagle, right? It's soaring effortlessly on thermal currents, carving these slow, calculated circles high above the earth. Its greatest weapon actually isn't its sharp talons at this point, it's those eyes. Conducting a meticulous, sweeping patrol of the terrain from hundreds of meters up in the air, the eagle can detect the incredibly subtle movement of a single scale shifting against the dirt, just waiting patiently for the perfect shadow to reveal its next meal.
Meanwhile, down below, the target is preparing its own defense. The snake operates on a brilliant strategy of complete sensory deprivation for its enemies. Many species remain almost entirely invisible, perfectly matching the texture of the rocks, the color of fallen leaves, or the sway of the grass. They utilize extreme stillness to avoid triggering the eagle's motion-detecting eyes. And beneath that perfect camouflage, they're coiled up like springs, harboring incredibly powerful muscles ready to constrict or venom ready to deploy at a moment's notice.
Chapter 3. The Perfect Strike, Anatomy of the Attack.
And suddenly, the tension breaks. The eagle, after hours of riding the wind, finally spots a mistake. A snake has moved out from the underbrush to bask in the warm sunlight, or maybe it's just left itself exposed for a fraction of a second while crossing an open patch of dirt. The wait is over. The strike sequence begins. First, the patrol, conserving energy while scanning. Second, the lock-on. The eagle spots the target, calculates the exact trajectory, and commits entirely. Third, the dive. The eagle abruptly folds its vast wings. It literally transforms from a soaring glider into an aerodynamic missile, accelerating downward with terrifying, lethal precision.
The attack lasts only seconds. Wind rushing, gravity taking over, a blur of feathers and extended talons. It's this split-second reality where success relies entirely on flawless timing and pinpoint accuracy. The eagle is aiming for the ultimate kill shot, seizing the snake directly behind the head to completely neutralize the risk of those deadly fangs. If the eagle misses by even a fraction of an inch, well, everything changes.
Which brings us to Chapter 4, When Snakes Fight Back, the Twist.
Because let's be honest, nature almost never writes a one-sided script. We might assume the massive bird dropping from the sky is guaranteed to win here, but predation is never a sure thing. It always involves severe, life-threatening risk. If that initial strike fails to perfectly pin the head, the eagle suddenly finds itself on the ground, in extremely close quarters with a very angry, very dangerous adversary. It's incredible to see the sheer variety of weapons the snake unleashes the absolute moment the tables turn. Venomous snakes will lash out with incredibly fast, defensive strikes that can fatally wound the bird. Large constrictors, they will violently whip their bodies around the eagle, trying to trap its wings and crush its hollow bones. Others will rapidly inflate their bodies, hiss violently, or flash bright warning colors to startle the attacker into backing off. Even the most experienced eagles can sustain terrible, sometimes fatal injuries in this chaotic scramble.
Chapter 5: Who holds the advantage? The deciding factors.
So when you actually weigh these factors against each other, you realize there is no universal winner here. For sure, the eagle has the undeniable advantage of attacking from above, with the element of total surprise and precision weaponry. But the snake completely holds the cards if it can just detect the attack in time, utilizing its large muscle mass to wrestle or highly toxic venom to retaliate. Imagine trying to swallow something that can literally fight back with everything it has. The outcome shifts dynamically depending on the specific species involved, their relative sizes, the density of the habitat around them, and honestly, whoever makes a mistake first. Every single encounter is entirely unique.
Let's step back for our final chapter: the balance of nature, beyond the duel.
As thrilling as this individual hunt is, these encounters are about so much more than just a single meal or a single escape. They play a massive role in the grander scheme of our environment. It's super easy to root for one or the other, but the absolutely crucial point here is how these encounters maintain the health of the entire ecosystem. By hunting snakes, eagles actively manage and influence local reptile populations, preventing them from overwhelming the habitat. And at the exact same time, those snakes are incredibly vital for controlling populations of rodents and other small animals that could otherwise devastate plant life and spread disease. Removing either of these incredibly capable predators from the equation, that would cause cascading, disastrous effects for dozens of other species. There's this really profound thought from our source material. Nature functions through balance, not domination. It isn't about the eagle wiping out the snake or the snake becoming completely untouchable. It's about the push and pull. It is a continuous, totally necessary cycle of predator and prey that keeps the wild world healthy and functional.
Ultimately, every single hunt we've tracked today is a live-action test of evolution. Sometimes the eagle strikes true and succeeds. Sometimes the snake reacts just in time, slips away into the grass, or violently fights off its attacker. It really highlights that in the wild, survival doesn't automatically belong to the biggest or the strongest animal. It belongs entirely to the one best prepared for that specific, fleeting moment.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As you go about your day, in the wild's ultimate test of evolution, what incredible, hidden battles are happening right now, just out of sight. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you enjoyed taking this deep dive into the science, the behavior, and the thrilling reality of these natural encounters, make sure to subscribe so we can bring you even more fascinating stories from the natural world. See you next time.